Hello and welcome back to another video from another retro guy. Now today I'm going to be basically just previewing the Mega Drive games I got over the past about 5 months. I actually can't remember if I've done any of these in the pickups video, so if some of them are repeated, then I do apologise for repeated content. But it's been a while since I've done a gaming pickups video or a collection update, as it were. But with these ones, I thought, you know what, I've got them all together in a bundle, so why not just do a video, showcase them all, and basically, yeah, just let you see them. So, yeah, and without further ado, we're going to start off with the first sports title. Now, this was originally bought from a store called Kenny's Buy Sell Trade, and when it came, it was supposed to have had the instruction booklet. Sadly, it didn't, but I'm not that fussed. It was quite cheap anyway. I've since replaced the case for this because the case was absolutely mullered. In fact, I bought a pack of 10 cases off of AliExpress for I think it was about 40 quid. And with these ones, they've got the frosted kind of plastic to keep the inlay in, and they're quite tough to open up, and you know the catches are quite new, let's just say. And it is Super League Baseball. I've not actually played this one yet. In fact, all I've been doing recently is well, over the past 4 or 5 months, is pretty much watch movies, apart from doing the odd like gameplay, like playthrough video and that. But I must admit, the graphics on the back, they do look, and I must admit, the graphics on the back, they do actually look pretty good. I mean, this was from 1990, so this was one of the first, or one of the first, in the first few batches of Mega Drive games to be released, and I think this was from Sega themselves. But I don't actually mind playing the odd baseball game every now and then if it's just simple. You just get straight into it, and you just press the button to swing the bat and crack the ball as hard as you can. You know, I mean, that's why I didn't mind RBI Baseball 2 on the Amiga. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to checking this one out. But yeah, as I say, with these, I mean, that's the cartridge. There's no instruction booklet. There's a little dink on the label there, but you know what? I don't really give a miff about that. As far as I'm concerned, I've got the game. That's all that really matters. So I can't wait to check that one out. Now, the next sports game is a racing one, and do believe it uses the same game engine as Vroom on the Amiga, and this has got the official license. The official license, and it is Formula One from Domark. Domark. No, that was Tengen. That was a subsidiary of Atari. It was the Tengen was like the home side of Atari games that do like the conversions, but Domark, yeah, they were known for doing certain licensed games, like I think it was the Spy Who Loved Me, and releasing some like compilation packs as well. I think there was a James Bond compilation pack, and I think they released it. And I know they also did License to Kill as well, which on the Spectrum and the Amiga, it's an absolute blast. I love it. But this one, yeah, as I say, it uses the Vroom game engine on the Amiga and the Atari ST, and you can tell there it's proper sprite based. There's no 3D polygons or anything like Formula One Grand Prix on the Amiga, and this one has the instruction booklet with it. And I think this was a purchase from eBay as well. This wasn't expensive. No, it wasn't. Sorry, it was from CEX. It was from CEX, and I bought it online. It wasn't that expensive. I think it came to about 11 quid with postage, but I used a voucher or part of a voucher to get it with, and yeah, this is one that I can't wait to have a go at. You know, I mean, I love a good Formula One game. I mean, going back to Formula One on the Amiga, I used to I used to enjoy starting off the races, just putting my foot down and smashing one of the compare in front of me. So they ended up with like a buckled kind of aerofoil at the back, and yeah, and just causing absolute carnage. And that is why I'm not a Formula One driver. But no, this is as close as I'm going to come, and you know what? I can't wait to play it. Now the next one is another Amiga game that's well, that's basically like a Mega Drive game as well, and this one features big sprites, and it's by Enterprise Software, and it is Sword of Sodan. Now this is in one of those blister boxes, and as you can see, it's not in the best of conditions, but this was cheap at it wasn't expensive. It was about 16 quid, whereas like other boxed copies like in like mint condition were even more than that. I mean, this does have the instruction manual with it, and you know, there's the cartridge as well. But I mean, as I say, the box isn't in the best of conditions. I need to try and get like a replacement box for this, you know, because there's like splits and everything, and I need to try and print out another inlay to replace this one, because basically that is, well, what can I say? It's absolutely mullered. But I mean, you've still got the picture on the front. You haven't got the English description at the top. So if you're fluent in French, German, Spanish, Italian, and I suppose Norwegian, then you know, well, hey. But if you're English, then you are stuck. But still, again, this is another conversion for, or yeah, I think it's a conversion of the Amiga game. And as I say, you've got the big sprites on the back there. I've not played this at all, and the reason why I got this Mega Drive version was because I really wanted to play it, because I'm a sucker for a good hack 'em up. You know, I mean, I loved Raston on the Spectrum, like the arcade conversion on the ZX Spectrum, and I recently bought Raston on the PS5 from the arcade archives, and my word, is it hard! So I can see why the Spectrum version is hard, but still, for the price I paid for this, this is another one that I can't wait to play. But apparently, you get a choice to play as either him or her. And I suppose they've got different attributes and stuff like that. But yeah, the graphics look big and bold, and you know, they actually look pretty damn good. So that's another one that's going to be on the can't wait to play list. And the last one from this first stack, it is another racing game, and this is one again that I think I got from eBay. I'm certain I did. And again, it's from Domark, and again, I think it uses the Vroom game engine on the Amiga, and it is Kawasaki Superbike, and this one is published by Time. Is it published by Time Warner Interactive? Licensed to Time Warner Interactive, so it might be that they made it and Domark published it, or the other way around. But yeah, as I say, the game engine is pretty much exactly the same. But yeah, there's the cartridge, and there's the upside down manual. It's for if you're Australian and you like to read things upside down. I'm kidding. But still, you know, again, I love racing games, you know, so especially like motorbike ones. You know, I mean it takes me back to Super Cycle on the ZX Spectrum. You know, I used to love playing that, and even though I think it didn't fare well in like the magazines and that, I got a hell of a lot of enjoyment out of it. I really loved it, and I still love it now. And in fact, I made sure to get a standalone cassette copy because I had it in the Boots Action Pack, which had Top Gun and Gauntlet and I think Jack the Nipper and like a few other games. I think Alpha Design Monty was there and something else. But I loved Super Cycle, and yeah, I had to get a standalone copy, and I still love it to this day. So I love motorbike games, like especially these motorbike games, not the ones where it's all complicated physics and all stuff like that. I just want to be able to just get into the game and play it. So this is right up my alley, you know. So that's another one that's going to be pretty awesome. Now the next one that I did pick up, this was a CEX purchase from Thurrock in Lakeside. Now again, when I was going through a stint of just getting rid of a load of films and that I didn't really want and getting quite a bit of credit, I was just going and getting what Mega Drive games that I wanted, and this was one of them. In fact, I showed this on my Smash TV video, and it's Super Smash TV. Now there's no instruction manual, and this cost 12 quid. The original case that this came in was split right down there, and there was no way to repair it. So again, I just used one of the new cases, and basically it looks like new, you know. And again, you've got the cartridge there, no manual, but still for 12 quid, I ain't gonna grumble, governor. And yeah, I think this was a version that I really enjoyed. You know, it was pretty damn good. Really, really enjoyed it. Still as hard as nails as ever, but still a good version. Now the next one is another. I'm certain this is another conversion of of an Amiga game. In fact, I think it very well might be. In fact, I've got the Amiga version of this, and I remember playing it, not being very good at it, but still, I really enjoyed it. See, I love the kung fu movies of Bruce Lee and that, and like the different kung fu and martial arts. They really interest me, like Kempo and um, Wang Chung and stuff like that, you know. And so this is Budokan, the martial spirit. And this is basically prepare mind and body for the challenge of the Budokan. Master 4 deadly martial arts, learn 25 moves per art, so that's 100 moves. Battle 12 unique opponents and go head to head in 2-player mode. So basically, once you've learned all you can then go to a competition. Now, this again is a complete copy, and I can't actually remember where I got this from. In fact, I think this might have been an eBay purchase, and I know this wasn't expensive. I think this was about 13 quid all in. And yeah, graphics are pretty much like the Amiga. Sorry if I can't pick that up. Again, I'm using the front camera because if I go try and use the back camera, I'm either A, not going to position the picture correctly, or B, the phone's just going to completely fall over and all you'll end up with is a view of the ceiling, and no one wants that. But yeah, I mean, this is another one of those blister cases. But the thing is, this one is in much better condition, and I'm glad of that because this is actually a pretty good game, and I quite like this one. So the last one of this particular pile is one that is a game that was made, certainly was made a couple of years ago, and I think it's a sequel. Yes, it is. It is a sequel, and it is called Life on Earth Reimagined. imagined. And it's basically the United Nations established a colony on Mars to investigate the underground waters and find out if there is any kind of life. They found a bacterium in the frozen waters of Mars. Samples of the Martian bacterium were secretly sent to Earth for analysis, but the safety measures were ineffective for this new life form. Woo. This biohazard could mean the end for all life on Earth as we know it. You must eradicate the infection, even if it costs you your own life. Richly animated visual stages and an intriguing plot in the Life on Mars universe. So yeah, it's a sequel to Life on Mars. You get 3 different game modes and 3 difficulty levels will give you tons of replayability and hours of fun. I hope so. Enormous robotic bosses showing the blast processing in all its glory, pushing the console's limits. Now this is one I haven't played yet. Again, because I've just been watching movies. I've been trying to catch up on my movie to watch list. Now, this was an eBay purchase. And I did compare the price to buying it off of the actual website. And when it came down to price, the one on the website was quite expensive. And this was like a third of the price. And yeah, it's got all the paraphernalia. There's your cartridge there. You've got all the paraphernalia. You've got the game manual. And you've also got a set of art cards as well, which I'm not going to take out there. But yeah, this inlay is actually reversible as well. So you can have this artwork, or you can have that artwork. I do like that, but that is where I started out on my Mega Drive journey. After getting the console in, I think it was about 92. After, I think it was the same year that Sonic 2 got released. So, yeah. I've always been a fan of the, I've always been a fan of the Hatch artwork. And the best thing is as well is that it came in one of these box protectors as well, which I must admit I do need to pick up some, because I want to try and keep my Mega Drive games in as good a condition as possible. But yeah, I remember seeing the review video for this, and it looked absolutely fantastic. So this is one that, again, I'm going to be playing at some point soon, and I might even try and do a review of it as well, you know. Now the next one, again, was another CEX voucher purchase, and the case for this one, again, was mullered. So after replacing it, it's actually a better version than it was, and it is Alien Storm. Now I have this on one of the Mega Game cartridges. I think it's either 2 or 3, but I wanted the standalone basically because I love this game, and also because that artwork is actually pretty damn awesome as well. If you think of it, it's like Ghostbusters, but you're blasting alien scum instead with a fancy like backpack laser rifle doohickey cattle prod, you know. But yeah, this is another one of the early Mega Drive games. 1991 this was, and it had some excellent graphics, and it was based on the Sega arcade game as well. And yeah, some good stuff in this game, some good graphics, good gameplay, good sound as well, good music as well. And that's the cartridge, no instruction book, and this was £8. So I'm quite happy to have that in the collection. Now this next one was a upgrade. Well, I say upgrade. I had this game on Japanese version, but I wanted to get the UK version instead. And so I actually bought the UK version cheap, and I sold the Japanese version for a good price. You know, buyer was happy, I was happy. So basically, you know, I made a bit of money back, and I'm glad I did, because this is actually a really damn good side-scrolling shooter. I mean, I've always had fun with it, and it's Arrow Flash, another Sega game. Yeah, side-scrolling shooter. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy this one. I haven't played it for ages. The Japanese version had more of a anime look to the front cover and the back and the instruction manual and the cartridge. This one's more a kind of um, realistic, I suppose, looking kind of design for the woman, you know. But yeah, this is a great game, and the fact that I think, yet you actually control a mech in this, a flying mech, and it's absolutely, I love this, you know. Um, and I'm glad to have the UK version of this. You know, it's just a great game, really is. I can't recommend this one highly enough. If you love your shooters, you know, can definitely recommend it. Along with the next one. Now, the first one I did have, um, I did have as a reproduction copy, and I always said that if I ever came across a proper copy cheap enough, I would go for it. And so, enter eBay. Was it eBay or was it? Yes, it was. It was eBay. Enter eBay. Not enter Sandman, but enter eBay. To the rescue with this copy for, it was about 16 quid all in. So as soon as this came through, I gave my reproduction copy to my nephew so he could play it. You know, and it is the first Streets of Rage. Now, I first played this on the limited edition Sega Mega CD Sega Classics Collection disc, I think it was. You know, and it was pretty much like Mega Games, but instead of having 6 games, there was only like 5 games on the CD, and this was one of them. And I remember completing this. And yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. But it's weird how I played the second one first, and I played this one after. But don't take nothing away from it. This is still a top side-scrolling beat 'em up. I prefer the second one. I always will do. You know, I just think it's a more well-rounded game. The music was, it was just as good as this one, but the graphics were better. The gameplay was better. Um, you know, it just, for me, it had that bit more polish to it. But that's not to say that this game was unpolished. This is a pretty awesome game. You know, with a banging soundtrack. But the second one it just beat it. It just beat it just a bit. You know, it's one of those things where you don't think they could ever improve on the first, but ooh, yeah, they did. And the second one is just a fucking classic. Pardon my language. But this is, take nothing away from this. This is still a cracking game in its own right. The next one was a CEX voucher purchase, and although I'm glad to have it, I was a little bit miffed with the condition of the inlay, but hopefully now I've straightened it out, um, it should be in much better condition than it is Streets of Rage 3. Now, I originally had this many years ago, and me, like a complete dingleberry, I ended up selling it. And then not long after that, I was like, I wish I never got rid of it. Really bad seller's regret. I had that with the CD32, the Amiga CD32. It was a great little console, and I sold it. You know, same with the Atari Jaguar. I love the Atari Jaguar. I love Alien vs Predator on it, but I sold the console, so I never got a chance to own a copy. You know, and that's something that I will always regret. But I'm glad I managed to get this back using a CEX voucher. You know, I mean, yeah, it's it's a bastardized version because the Japanese version's got a more complete story. The story was bastardized in this. The sound wasn't as good. Um, and there were certain things that were changed and stuff like that. So the more complete version, I think, is the Japanese version, Bare Knuckle 3. But to be honest, you know, I do like this game. It is really good. Is it better than 2? No way. Number 2 is the benchmark of Streets of Rage games. You know, for me, it goes 2, 1, then 3. Number 4, it's a great game, but because it's not on the Mega Drive, I can't count it with those 3. You know, it's weird how my mind works. I've always been weird, but yeah, the graphics are good on this. Gameplay is good, but it doesn't feel as polished. And as I say, the music and sound effects on this doesn't feel right. Let's just say that it feels a bit scrappy, you know, and yeah, all it is just literally the cartridge, um, which I think has got a tiny bit of sun fading, and the writing on top of the cartridge, it hasn't got the Streets of Rage logo. It's pretty much just that, which to me it seems a little bit cheap, but am I glad I have it again? Yeah, yes, I am. Very glad to have it again. Will I will I play it as often as number 2? No, but I will play it. I will play it again. You know, um, just to see if I can beat it. You know, I mean, it is nice to have in the collection as part of the series. You know, um, blasted inlays. There we go. That's that straightened up. So yeah, Streets of Rage 3. And the last one of this stack is, surprise, surprise, it's another racing game. And this one comes courtesy of Acclaim. Now this again was another eBay purchase, and again, this was about a tenner, I do believe. It wasn't expensive. Not in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I think I have seen copies go for more than what I paid for this. I think I paid about a tenner, as I say, for about 10, 12 quid. And it is Newman Haas IndyCar featuring the man with the moustache himself, Mr. Nigel Mansell. Um, yeah, it's is it? I'm certain this is by Gremlin, distributed by Acclaim Entertainment. Yeah, something tells me this is. Yeah, I think this is Gremlin, because from the back of the box, it actually looks like Nigel Mansell's World Championship. It's got the same kind of graphics in certain positions, so I've got a feeling it's pretty much the same engine but ported to the Mega Drive and done as IndyCar. Um, but yeah, as I say, for a tenner, I'm happy to have this. You know, um, manufactured by Acclaim. That doesn't really tell me. Let's have a look here. Nope, Acclaim. Epilepsy warning. Nope. Oh, where the bloody hell. Nope, that's German. I can't read German. Acclaim Entertainment. It doesn't actually say. So it might not actually be Gremlin, but I'll find out when I play it. I think the last time I played this was a good few years ago, and I haven't played it since then. But yeah, I'm happy to give it another go. And as I say, I love the older racing games because they're just simple plug in and play fun. There's no kind of, oh, you got to set this up, you got to set that up, you got to balance this, you got to do your brakes, you got to do your tyres, you got to do this, that, and the other. You can just put the cartridge in, hop straight into it, get roaring down the track. That's what I like. Just simple racing games, nothing too complicated. I'm 43. I'm too old to be thinking of shit like that, and getting it wrong and crashing the bloody car and, ending my career in a great big fiery ball of death. So, yeah, Newman Haas IndyCar featuring Nigel Mainsail. So, on to the last stack of 4 games. And this next one is actually an American import. And this, again, was a eBay purchase. Because I got sent through an offer for this for, I think it was about 18 quid. Yeah, it was about 18 quid. Whereas the PAL version, I think cartridge only, the least it goes for is about 30 quid. And I'm like, no. I don't think so. So I thought, you know what? I'll go for this version. I remember playing this a couple of years ago. And first of all, not really liking it whatsoever. But then as soon as I read like a little thing of what you had to do, like a little playthrough, I was like, that makes sense. So it's like I read it first, then I went back to it, and as I was playing through it, I was like, oh yeah, that, and I got a lot more out of it. And I thought, that's actually not a bad little game. It's not your typical kind of beat the shit out of everyone and get to the end of the level. You've got to do certain things throughout the level. And it made much more sense. And I really liked it. And it is Terminator 2 Judgment Day from Acclaim or Flying Edge. Oh, it is a division of Acclaim. That is fair enough. I will shut my pie hole. Now, the case that this came in originally, yes, it was an official Acclaim case, but it was buggered beyond repair. It was dirty. It had holes in it and stuff like that. So again, the AliExpress case is to the rescue, and it looks nice, good as new, and I'm quite happy with that. That's the back there. I don't think I got further than John's house on this, and I think that's only a second or third level. As I say, it's cartridge only. The cartridge label isn't in the best of conditions, but you know what? I'm happy I got this for 18 quid. And at some point soon, I'll probably be doing a video of the games of Terminator 2, of which there are quite a few. The Game Boy one being a standout one because the very first level, you have to destroy these towers in the correct order. I think it's small to large, and it's hard, but it is good. It's really, really good. So, but yeah, I can't wait to have another go at that. Now, the next one. Oh, hello. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. It's not Fury this time. It's his brother, Duke, named after John Wayne in memory of my dad. Don't you? Yes, he says hello. Don't you? Say hello. Say hello because you're going to go on YouTube. You're going to go on YouTube. Okay. He says bye. Go on then, mate. Down you go. But yeah, this next one. He molts pretty badly. Yeah, this next one originally was not released in the UK. It was a Taiwan exclusive in 1990, but Pico, however you pronounce it, they managed to buy the rights to the game. They localized it and released it in the PAL and US territories, and this was out of stock for quite a while. And I've been waiting for it to come back in. And as soon as it came back in, I picked it up, and it was a hell of a lot cheaper than than basically what people wanted on eBay. I think this game's about 30 quid. People on eBay wanted more than that. I think they wanted about 50, 60 quid, and I was like, pfft. And it is Thunderbolt 2. It is an up-screen scrolling shoot 'em up that I've never played before. And you basically, you have to save the Earth. Basically, an invading alien force has decided to basically invade, and you're the Earth's only saviour. Typically. But yeah, the graphics look pretty damn awesome. And I can't wait to get cracking cracking with it, sorry. You get your instruction book, and there's the cartridge right there as well. Only thing is, I wish it wasn't one of these cartridges with the long labels that go down to the edge. I don't go a lot on them. Don't go a lot on them whatsoever. And the booklet, it's only a thin booklet, but you know what? You don't need any more than that. So yeah, this is one that again I've not played whatsoever. So, but I can't wait to play it because, as everyone knows, I love my scrolling shoot 'em ups. Vertical. I'll get it right in a minute. Vertical and horizontal. I was right first of all. Oh bollocks! Vertical, horizontal. Get it right in a minute. So, and this looks right up my street. It looks a bit like Truxton or Tatsujin from Tower Plan. So yeah, can't wait to play that one. And I got it off of dragonbox.de, which basically deal with many of the re-releases as well. So you can pre-order them off there, and I think they're about 10% cheaper. So worth looking at. Now the next one was another eBay credit purchase, and this is one that I've not actually played. I've heard of it, and a cheap enough copy really didn't come up. But I must admit, it looks pretty intriguing. It's from late in the Mega Drive's life, and it is Tintin in Tibet. Now, sadly, this hasn't got instruction manual with it. It's just basically just the cartridge and the inlay. But from the look of the graphics, it's got that comic book feel to it, like the Tintin comic book feel. And yeah, I must admit, I do like Tintin. I used to read the books when I was a kid, and I used to like the cartoon as well when it was on CITV, I think it was. Yeah, used to like watching the cartoon as well, and I haven't watched none of the cartoons. I haven't read the books in years, and I haven't even seen the Tintin film that came out by Steven Spielberg. But you know, I can't wait to give this a try and see what it's like. You know, I love a good platform game, so you know, hopefully this is going to be pretty good. And the last one is another CEX voucher purchase. And in fact, I got this in CEX Bishop Stortford when I traded in a load of stuff. You know, and I still had some credit left over. I was going to get Donald Duck in Maui Mallard, but it was expensive for the condition it was in. It was in terrible condition. The inlay was ripped to fuck. The cartridge wasn't even in good condition. It didn't even have an instruction manual, and I thought, you've got the balls to sell it in that condition? Okay, I would sell that as cartridge only and just be done with it. You know? But this was the other one they had. I swapped over the case because it wasn't in the best of conditions again. The inlay's not in any good condition, but it's better than Sword of Sodan. And this is a game that I must admit I do have a bit of a soft spot for. Even though it isn't all that good, I still get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And it is Burning Force by Namco. This is pretty much like Space Harrier, but instead of you just being able to propel yourself along by what, farts? I don't know. You're on a kind of, well, as you can see from the picture, you're basically on that kind of bike, like a speeder bike from Return of the Jedi. And you basically have to fire at all and sundry that comes towards you while you're going over different like landscapes and stuff like that. And that's the graphics there. Yeah, I like this one. The graphics aren't the best. I'd say it's probably about 60%. You know, out of a score of 100% for the graphics, 60, 65 maybe. The gameplay though is pretty good. I'd rate that as about 72, 73. I can't remember much of the music and sound effects, but yeah, I really do like this one, even though it's not the best. You know, there's the damage just down there, but the back is actually in pretty good condition. And again, replacement case jobby. And yes, as I said, just the cartridge, sir. Just this way, sir. So yeah, so selling stuff at CEX is pretty much the only way I'm going to be able to get some of the more expensive Mega Drive games. You know, I just begrudge paying out 120 quid for a Mega Drive game. Even though in some cases, like Streets of Rage 3, it goes for a hell of a lot more money, you know, complete. That was bollocks. That was 120 quid at CEX, but I used a voucher. There was no way I was going to pay 120 quid with proper cash. I'd rather just trade a lot of, like, get rid of a lot of stuff and just swap it for that. That'll do me. You know. But they're all the Mega Drive games that I've got so far. Well, what I've got over the past about 4 or 5 months. It might even be longer than that. But yeah, that's literally the state that my collection of Mega Drive goodness is up to now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little showcase of a Mega Drive collection update. But yeah, if you did, then you know what to do. No, that isn't a... Forget it. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.